Now we're going to talk about unconscious mistakes that we don't even know that we're doing. And I've studied this a lot, and some of you may know that in my past life, I was a psychotherapist for over 30 years. And so I have quite an understanding of human behavior and communication styles and rapport and all of that stuff. And I must say that it has helped me in selling because I understand how people think. I also understand myself because I've done a lot of work on myself. So what I've done here is put together the 7 most common unconscious mistakes that I see people, coaches, and people that have tried to sign me up do that have ruined them selling or made the sale impossible. And I'm going to share them with you right now. Who wants to know? Failing to establish rapport. The worst thing you can do is start in with, hi, boo. That doesn't feel good, right? So don't skip the small talk and don't assume intimacy. Try to find something that you can say that connects you. You know, typical ones that kind of break the ice that are easy to talk about are the weather and where do you live? And, oh my gosh, you have a nice Zoom background. I like your picture. Or, you know, something that's not about what you're talking about. And then usually it's going to be the back and forth, right? So if I said to you, how's the weather in Brazil? You might say, well, it's nighttime and it's cold right now. And I could say, well, I'm in Connecticut. Do you know where that is? And you can look out my window and see that it's sunny and a beautiful day. So now we've just done a little rapport building. And before I started this call, I asked you all where you lived and to say hello. And that was me building rapport with you. We are humans. We want to know about each other. We're interested in each other's lives. And doing this can make the difference in being comfortable or uncomfortable. So if you are nervous and feeling desperate, you might skip this part because you want to get into the questions. This might be the most important piece of what you do that can make or break the sale. Talking too much. During an enrollment call, let me ask you a trick question. How much time do you think that the coach should talk, and how much time do you think that the prospect should talk, percentage-wise? Right. So most of you know that it's about 80 to 85% of the prospect, and you get about 15%. So if you're talking more than 15 or 20% during the enrollment call, you're talking too much. Your job is to ask questions and to clarify and to ask more questions and let them talk. So here's what happens when you talk too much. You'll shut down your prospect's ability to engage in the conversation at one of the most crucial points, especially if they have a doubt or concern, because you're going to run over them and they're not going to have a chance to kind of find their way out of it. It's going to just get confusing for them. Resist the urge to ramp up your chatter. Talking less will help you connect meaningfully with them. Does that make sense? When I slow down, like right now, what happens to you listening? When I wait and pace myself, are you leaning in and listening and waiting for the next thing for me to say? Am I allowing you to think about what I'm saying? I hope so, because that's the goal. More about that in a minute. Not pausing to check in with your prospect. That is definitely an unconscious mistake, is running through the script really quickly and running through the offer really quickly. It's so important to make sure that the things that you're saying are landing and that people understand what you're communicating. Do you have any questions about that? I think you're saying, right? All those types of things that we do to slow down, to connect, and also to pause and give space for someone to think and digest. One time I was making an offer to a woman, and I said to, I don't remember how much it was, but it was a big ticket. And she said, well, I can't afford it. And I didn't say anything. I just listened. And I think this was before video, so we weren't even looking at each other. And she's like, are you still there? Are you still there? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just letting you figure this out. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. I really want to do this. I just don't know where I get the money. And she started just talking to herself pretty much. I was there, but she was talking to herself. And she said, well, wait a minute. And she said, hold on a second. And she ran out of the room and she came back and she said, oh my gosh, I totally forgot that I had taken out a line of credit for my business last year, but that I never used it. I'm going to use it for coaching with you. Now, if I had gone in and started messing with that, I don't think she would have remembered that she had access to money to use for something that she really wanted. I also didn't try to solve her problem. I let her figure it out. I mean, I want to work with intelligent people. Do you? Yeah. So don't you think that our clients, our prospects can figure out stuff without us figuring it out for them? Mm-hmm. So quiet is really good. Really good.